What's up, guys? It's Ben. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everybody is doing well and staying safe. So today I just want to go over 8 bodyweight exercises that you can do at home and that you need to incorporate into your current strength and conditioning routine as an athlete and also for the sport of boxing. Okay, so each exercise will be targeting a specific muscle group, and we'll cover all 3 strength qualities that you need in the sport of boxing, which are maximal strength, which is your ability to express max effort. So think of power lifters, for instance. Explosive strength, which is your ability to express a very intense effort within a short period of time. And strength endurance, obviously, which is the ability to maintain your effort over a longer duration. All right, so our first 3 exercises are going to be targeting the legs. Okay, so when it comes to the lower body, and especially for bodyweight training, most people only limit themselves to performing high reps, high volumes of squats, right? So I'm not saying that you shouldn't be doing squats. It's definitely one of the most important moves out there, and you should be performing them regularly. Okay, but you also want to add variations into your training, okay, with more specific, more athletic movements, so you can keep on making progress. All right, so our first exercise is going to be a pistol squat, which is a variation of a squat, emphasizing on building strength, so the max strength that we were talking about earlier. So to correctly perform the pistol squat, also called the single leg squat, you're going to want to make sure of a few things. Okay, so the first thing is, I'm in my squat position right here, it's form. So I want to make sure that as I squat down, I'm slightly leaning forward to help with my balance, okay? And also on my way down, when I squat down, I want to make sure that most of my weight is in the middle part of my foot to my heel, right in between, so my heel can stay connected to the floor and remain flat, all right? So the pistol squat is definitely an advanced move. You're gonna try to build strength with this exercise, so you wanna keep the exercise low reps with a minute and a half to 2 minutes of rest in between each set, okay? If you're more advanced, even more advanced, you can pause at the bottom of the exercise, at the bottom of the movement, and then explode back up, okay? Usually the main 2 limitations for this exercise are strength. So strength in your quads, which you can always do them assisted. So you can use your door frame, you could use a wall, you could be using a chair, anything that you could grab to help with assisting, especially on the way down, okay, and building that strength in your quads. And your second limitation usually would be flexibility, and balance. And so if balance is an issue, I definitely recommend using a free weight. So it could be a kettlebell, it could be a dumbbell. It usually helps a lot with balance. You would just hold out your weight right here, okay, and then perform your pistol squat on each side, okay? All right, so moving on with our second exercise, still working the legs. We're going to be performing explosive split squat jumps. Okay, so for this exercise, we want to emphasize on explosive power, okay, which is definitely the quality you need the most as an athlete or in any striking sport such as boxing, okay? For this exercise, the split squat jump, the explosive split squat jump, you're going to want to make sure that you're doing it with a certain tempo, okay? So if I have a chair here that you can't see, but you can use any elevated surface that you have. It could be a bench, it could be a chair, The few things that I want to make sure of is, first, I'm keeping my chest upright like this, okay? I want to find the right distance between the chair or the surface and my foot that remains on the floor, okay? Once I'm at the right distance, I want to make sure that my feet are still kept apart, so I'm nice and balanced, I'm not on the same line, okay? I'm gonna go down slow, counting 3 seconds, and then explode back up, okay? So slow concentric count 3 seconds on your way down and explode up as fast as you can, okay? So you probably noticed that it's just like the pistol squats. You want to keep this because you want to keep the intensity as high as you can. You want to keep the reps very low, okay? So 3 to 6 reps is a good amount of reps for a set. Make sure that you're resting between your sets. A good progression for that exercise is the explosive lunges, switching lunges like this, okay? Okay, right here. And you also have the explosive lunge jump, which is a very good exercise. So you're here, lunge first, jump, reset. Lunge first, forward, jump, reset. One more time. Okay, so those exercises are more accessible, and they're still gonna be building that explosive strength that you're looking for. Third exercise, last leg exercise, is gonna be focusing on strength endurance, okay? We're gonna be using one of my favorite exercise for legs, which is the 360 lunges. Lunges are just a great exercise for boxing, just because it translates really well into the sport of boxing. You know, when you're moving, you're pretty much using this position, and same thing when you're striking. If I'm here, boom, I'm pretty much into my lunge position, okay? So what I want to make sure is that because I'm building endurance, we're gonna try to go for high reps, okay? So 45 seconds, a minute, over a minute if you're more advanced. And also the 360 lunges is gonna work all different angles, okay? The big range of motion that you need in boxing. You're not just moving back and forth. Remember, you can be moving 45 degrees, backwards, pivoting at angles. So that exercise is really good because you're gonna be covering the forward lunge first, okay? Then you're gonna go to a lateral lunge, reverse lunge, and do the exact same thing working the other leg, okay? So here, here, and here. So that's a great exercise. Okay, moving on to our upper body now for the next 3 exercises that we have. The first one is gonna be a modified version of the archer push-up, okay? Which is an exercise that you could be using if you're gonna try to create a different stress on your shoulders, if you're gonna try to create and build more strength in your shoulders than just a regular push-up, okay? So the goal is to mainly modify the archer push-up, modify it in a way that we're mainly using one arm to push ourselves back up. So the starting position is here, okay? We're starting with our chest on the floor, spreading one arm out, making sure our wrist is not compromised like this, but in a push-up position, okay? And then from here, I'm gonna try to use this arm as little as possible to push myself back up with just this hand. So it looks like this, boom. Then I switch side and do the exact same thing here, okay? This is a great exercise to build strength in your shoulders. You can also, a good progression, if you can't get that exercise the first time, would be to use a medicine ball or something that could help you have this hand, so the non-working hand here, okay? Help you with your balance and decrease the range of motion that you're working with, okay? Making the exercise a little easier. Next upper body exercise is gonna be the explosive push-up. Okay, so push-ups are probably the best upper body exercise that you can do in general and for boxing, simply because they offer so many different variations, okay? And you can literally do anything with push-up. You can work on your max strength, explosiveness, and also endurance, okay? What we're gonna do here, and we're gonna try, since we're working on the explosive power, we're gonna try to generate a quick burst of power, okay? So there's different ways that we can do this. I like to do the explosive push-up just like this with my hands coming off the floor, okay? Depending on your level, depending on where you're at with your fitness, you can also work on the clap push-up, okay? You could do explosive knee push-ups if you're not as advanced. Another variation that I like to use would be the explosive push-ups against the wall, okay? So that also mobilizes our core, same as the explosive push-up. unfortunately I can't show you now because I don't have a wall, but you're just trying to plant your hands in the wall, okay? Don't plant them too high, at eye level, and then come back down for another push-up. Those are great exercises for working the explosive power that we're looking for in the sport of boxing. You want to make sure that, just like any other explosive sets that you're performing, you want to have long rest, long intervals, active or complete rest between your sets, and you want to keep it low reps for your sets. So 3 to 6 is usually what we recommend for this exercise. So yeah, explosive push-ups, great exercise. Awesome. So last upper body exercise, we just explored the push-ups. We're gonna do a pull exercise after a push exercise, and it's gonna be the Australian pull-up, also called the bodyweight inverted rows. Okay. So for that exercise, I'm gonna be using my TRX. If you don't have a suspension training kit like I do, you can also find like a high surface, like a kitchen countertop, maybe a table, anything that you could use. I've seen some DIY stations out there with people using a stick, a broom with 2 chairs. Okay, just make sure it's sturdy enough and it can support your weight. So for this exercise, you're going to be needing a good amount of pulling strength, okay? And we're going to be looking for high reps since we're training endurance on that exercise. So you're going to want to start here, okay? Body almost parallel to the floor, okay? So my feet are nice and grounded into the floor. Full range of motion, okay? From the bottom, I'm just gonna go slowly, pull myself up slowly, okay? Full range of motion, moderate tempo to slow tempo, okay? And trying to focus on retracting the scapulus, right? Get that full range of motion, okay? Starting with the body parallel to the floor, hang with the body straight like this, and then pulling, all right? Great upper body exercise to build endurance, especially if you can't get high reps of pull-ups. This is a great progression to the pull-up exercise, and you can also play around with the angle. So the closer your feet are to the wall, okay, the harder. All right, this is also a very important tip. Okay, moving on to our next exercise to tackle the core this time. We're going to be doing a rotational side chop, okay? So this exercise is a fast oblique twist. Okay, we're going to be working the obliques here. It's a very explosive geared exercise, and definitely a great addition to your boxing routine. So I usually like to perform this exercise with a band. If you don't have a band, I'm going to show you what you can do body weight or also with a light dumbbell, okay? The first thing you want to make sure of when you're practicing this exercise with a band is that before you even turn and start twisting, you want to already have tension in the band, okay? So here I can feel the tension, okay? Slightly bending my knee, turn as fast as I can and come back slow. Okay, obviously you want to work this exercise on both sides, all right? Keeping the tension here in the band. Like I said, if you don't have a band, you could also do it body weight. So here, same thing. Okay, on both sides. And your last option would be with a light dumbbell. For a dumbbell chop, okay, starting right next to your hip, at a hip level, and turning. Great oblique exercise, explosive exercise for your core. Guys, our last exercise is a great finisher that I like to use right after my core exercises, okay? And it's gonna be a finisher to build mostly your endurance, okay, and your core, and that's called the all-around plank walkout. At least that's how I call it. For this exercise, you're gonna need to play some zones. So have different zones and items, okay, that I have here. I have 2 medicine ball and 2 dumbbells. Doesn't matter what you're using. You just wanna make sure that you're placing them at a reachable yet challenging distance, okay? So if I'm here in my plank position, from here, I'm just gonna simply try to touch each zone, okay, including my feet, without twisting my hips, okay? So my body's staying parallel to the floor the whole time. You're focusing on squeezing your core and touching every single item right here, okay? If you want a better challenge, you can also try and cross. So have your opposite hand right here, reaching out for those zones here, okay? All right, so you want to try to do this exercise for as long as you can, okay? You're training your endurance, so you know, you can start with maybe 30 seconds and then make your way up to 45, a minute and a half, okay? Non-stop, okay? You're trying to work on your endurance. You just want to make sure that your form is staying correct, which is, you know, the hips not moving all over the places like this, making sure you're squeezing your abs basically until you feel that burning sensation, okay? Okay, so this concludes our video for today. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. As always, you know, if you have any questions, suggestions, or things that you want to see for our next video, feel free to leave a comment. If you want to show some love or show some support, you can also leave us a comment. It's always really appreciated. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.